Good morning, everyone. As the sun rises over fields of golden wheat, we're reminded of how something as simple as a grain can have a huge impact on the world stage. Today, we're talking about wheat, and why China's recent purchase of American wheat is making global headlines. This isn't just another trade story, it's a moment that's caught the attention of farmers, economists, and diplomats alike. This isn't just about farming, it's about the relationship between two of the world's most powerful countries. The stakes are high, and every move is watched closely by the international community. After a year of tension, this simple act of buying grain is being seen as a sign of change. It's a signal that perhaps, after months of uncertainty, things might be shifting in a more positive direction. American farmers lost a major customer during the trade dispute, but this new purchase brings cautious optimism. For many, it's a glimmer of hope that their hard work will once again find a market overseas. When China buys a significant amount of U.S. wheat after a long pause, it sends a powerful message. Conversations are happening, and agreements are being reached. It's a reminder that even small steps can lead to bigger changes. This is more than a transaction. It's a gesture of goodwill, a step toward repairing a vital partnership. It's a move that could open doors for more cooperation in the future. We'll break down what's in this deal, why it happened now, and what it could mean for everyone involved. There's more to this story than meets the eye. From American farmers to policymakers in Washington and Beijing, this story touches many lives. The ripple effects will be felt in rural communities and in the halls of government alike. In our interconnected world, a shipment of grain can carry the weight of international diplomacy. What seems like a simple trade can actually influence global relations. Let's look at the recent past to understand the present, and consider what this might mean for the future of U.S.-China relations. The story of wheat is, in many ways, the story of our times. It's a story of economics, politics, and hope, all wrapped up in a few boatloads of wheat. So, let's dive in and see why this small grain is making such a big difference. So, what exactly did China buy in this headline-making deal? Let's get into the specifics and break down what makes this purchase so significant. China purchased two large shipments, about 120,000 metric tons, of American wheat, scheduled for delivery in December 2025. That's a massive order, representing a substantial commitment to U.S. agriculture. That's enough to fill thousands of trucks, stretching for miles across highways. The deal includes two types of wheat, each with its own unique uses and value. Soft white wheat for pastries and noodles, and spring wheat for bread, which is prized for its strength and baking quality. By choosing both, China shows real demand for the variety and quality of U.S. wheat, not just quantity. What's striking is that American wheat wasn't the cheapest option. China could have bought elsewhere for less, but chose the U.S. for specific reasons. This suggests the purchase was a political gesture, not just an economic one, signaling a willingness to engage. It's the first major U.S. wheat sale to China since October 2024, ending a year-long pause that left American farmers uncertain and anxious about the future. The return of China to the market is a welcome development, signaling a potential reopening of a vital trade route that benefits both nations. Traders and farmers are watching closely. Is this a one-time event, or the start of a new buying pattern that could reshape global wheat markets? This deal could be the first step in rebuilding a crucial agricultural partnership with ripple effects for years to come. For now, it's a sign that the door to U.S.-China grain trade is opening again, offering hope for more cooperation. The world is watching to see what happens next, as this deal could set the tone for future trade relations. This wheat deal didn't happen by accident. It followed a high-profile meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping in South Korea. These face-to-face talks are crucial for breaking deadlocks and setting the stage for progress. Trade tensions and tariffs were a major topic, and the leaders' discussion paved the way for positive action. The wheat purchase is widely seen as a direct result of this diplomatic summit, a tangible outcome that backs up the leaders' words. It's China's way of showing it heard U.S. concerns and is ready to take concrete steps. This is how international relations often work. A handshake between leaders can lead to a shipload of goods crossing the ocean. The wheat deal is more than commerce. It's a political signal of commitment from the top. Other positive signs have followed, like a shipment of U.S. sorghum to China. Together, these moves suggest a coordinated effort to get agricultural trade back on track. The world is watching to see if this momentum continues. To understand why this wheat deal matters, we need to talk about tariffs. Tariffs are more than just numbers on a spreadsheet. They can change the fate of entire industries and the livelihoods of millions of people. A tariff is a tax on imported goods, making them more expensive and less competitive. When a country imposes tariffs, it's often trying to protect its own producers, but it can also spark retaliation and disrupt global supply chains. The US and China spent years in a trade dispute, slapping tariffs on each other's products, including a 15% tariff on US wheat in March 2025. This tit-for-tat approach made it harder for both sides to do business. This extra cost pushed Chinese buyers to look elsewhere, and US wheat sales to China plummeted. American farmers felt the impact almost immediately, with unsold grain piling up and prices dropping. The turning point came after the leaders' meeting. China announced it would remove tariffs on some US agricultural goods, including wheat. This decision was a major breakthrough after months of tense negotiations. With the 15% tax gone, American wheat became competitive again. Suddenly, US farmers had a chance to reclaim their place in the world's biggest market for wheat. The wheat purchase was a direct result of this tariff removal. It was a clear sign that policy changes can quickly shift the flow of global trade. Tariffs can act like a wall, blocking trade. Removing them opens the door. It's a dramatic shift that can change fortunes overnight. Beijing's decision to scrap the wheat tariff was a clear signal of intent to reopen trade. It sent a message to the world that China was ready to do business again. For American farmers, it was the first real hope in over a year. After months of uncertainty, they could finally look forward to better days. This move shows how powerful tariffs are in shaping global trade. A single policy change can ripple across continents, affecting prices, jobs, and entire economies. When barriers fall, trade can flow, and relationships can start to heal. It's not just about economics, it's about rebuilding trust between nations. The wheat deal is proof that policy changes can have immediate, real-world impact. What happens in government offices can be felt on farms and in homes around the globe. Now, both sides are watching to see if this new openness lasts. The world is paying close attention, hoping this is just the beginning of a new chapter in trade. The stakes are high for farmers and the global economy alike. Every decision made at the negotiating table can change lives, shape markets, and set the course for the future. To see why this deal matters, let's look at the recent history of US-China grain trade. Before the trade war, China was a major, reliable customer for American farmers. In 2024, China imported 1.9 million tons of US wheat, 17% of its total wheat imports. The US was also China's top supplier of sorghum, shipping 5.7 million tons, two-thirds of China's imports. When tariffs hit, this thriving trade came to a halt, leaving American farmers with surplus crops and lost income. The new wheat and sorghum deals are the first steps toward rebuilding that powerful trade link. It's a reminder of what was lost, and what could be regained. For both countries, restoring this partnership means stability and opportunity. Tariffs weren't the only reason for the drop in US wheat sales to China. In 2025, China had a bumper domestic wheat harvest, reducing its need for imports. From January to September, China's total wheat imports fell by 72% compared to the previous year. The lack of US sales wasn't just about politics, it was also about supply and demand. That's why this recent purchase is so significant. China bought US wheat even when it didn't urgently need it. This reinforces the idea that the deal was a strategic, political move. For American farmers, it's a hopeful sign that when China's harvest is smaller, the US will be in a prime position to supply. The deal is an investment in a future trading relationship. This wheat purchase is about more than business. It's a symbol in international relations. After a year of escalating tariffs and tension, this deal acts as a circuit breaker, introducing cooperation. Actions speak louder than words. Buying 120,000 tons of wheat is a real demonstration of commitment. China is signaling to the US and the world that it's serious about de-escalation. This kind of goodwill gesture can pave the way for more difficult negotiations. The deal helps rebuild trust, which had eroded during the trade dispute. It shows that agreements at the highest levels can lead to real benefits for ordinary people. This act of goodwill could create momentum for future talks. Starting with agriculture, an area of mutual interest, can set the stage for tackling bigger issues. The wheat deal is a foundation for further progress. For American farmers, this news is a much-needed ray of hope. The trade dispute hit agriculture hard, leaving farmers with surplus crops and falling prices. The purchase of 120,000 tons of wheat is a crucial first step, injecting demand and supporting prices. More importantly, it signals confidence for the future. Farmers may feel more optimistic about planting. Beyond finances, the deal restores a sense of stability and predictability. Farming is already uncertain. Unpredictable trade policies add stress. The reopening of the Chinese market, even in a limited way, reduces that uncertainty. Farmers hope this is just the beginning, with more consistent orders to come. The deal, combined with tariff removal, opens the door for a return to normalcy. For America's agricultural backbone, it's long-awaited good news. The world will be watching to see if this hope turns into lasting opportunity. So, what does this all mean for the future? This wheat deal, though modest, is a powerful symbol of progress. It's a glimmer of hope that the US and China are moving from confrontation to cooperation. The future depends on building on this momentum. If China continues to buy American products and both sides avoid new tariffs, confidence will grow. This could ripple into other areas: technology, security, even human rights. Starting with agriculture, where both sides benefit, can lower overall tension. A political meeting in South Korea can impact a farmer in Kansas. A tariff decision in Beijing can affect bread prices worldwide. The wheat deal shows leaders recognize our interconnectedness and are acting on it. The path ahead will have challenges, but this purchase is a hopeful new chapter. Cooperation, not conflict, may define the future of US-China relations.